So hello everyone, and in this video we will be solving the technical assessment questions that were previously asked in Cognizant exam. So we will be solving for the cluster 1, that is the combination of Java plus SQL, also web. In web we will have the concepts from HTML, CSS and JavaScript. So the pattern would be, it is not a fixed pattern, but by previous tense we can say that 2 questions from Java plus 2 from SQL queries and 2 and 1 from web. So there will be total of 5 questions you may expect, and the duration will be 2 hours, that is 120 minutes for the technical assessment. And the main thing to be noticed is Java plus SQL holds around 85% of weightage, that is 85% of cutoff is based on Java plus SQL, and only 15% is given for the web based. So you need to concentrate more on Java plus SQL to easily clear the cutoff for Cognizant technical assessment. So without any further delay, let's solve the first. We will go in the flow like Java core, then Java DSA questions, then SQL queries. Last we will solve the web based questions. So this would be our flow. The same way in your exam also you will be getting the questions. So let's go to the first question. The question says that it is from Java and it is core Java. So we need to implement some things over here. The question 1 says class design, encapsulation plus basic computation. So the problem statement says that create a class student. So we need to create a class student. Okay, there is a student class with the following attributes. The following attributes are roll number, name and marks integer array. So your class must include a parameterized constructor to initialize all values. So inside the student class we have to have the student constructor which will initialize the values. Okay, a method double calculate average, an average calculator double method should be there that returns the average of, we were seeing the average of 5 marks. So the size of the array is 5 they have given. Also after that we also should compute the grade of the student. So if the average is greater than 90, then we will be initializing the grade with A or B or C or D. And also there must be a display details where it will display the details of students like printing roll number, name, average and grade. So this is the problem statement. Let's try to implement the whole class by ourselves. So I am in my IntelliJ IDEA, and let's go to the source folder and create a new Java class. Let's he said the class name is student, so let's give it as student class. So a brand new class is made for us. So let's write our main method for now. So any import statement we require? Yes, we need the scanner because we will take input java.util.scanner is one library which we require. Let's import here itself. Scanner is equal to new scanner of system.in. Okay, so it is very clear. Now the attributes which he was given was roll number, name and marks. So let's take them. So int roll number and string name, also integer marks array. These the attributes we have set. So the first thing up to here we have completed. Now your class must include a parameterized constructor to initialize all attributes. So let's write a parameterized constructor. So constructor is something which has no return type and same as the class name. So we can just write public student and it is a parameterized constructor. So let's take the parameters, that is int roll number comma string name comma int marks. Okay, this would be my constructor. So let's zoom out. Yeah, it is fine. So let's assign the values. So this dot roll number equal to roll number, also this dot name will be name, and also this dot marks equal to marks. So the second step is also completed. The parameters constructor is initialized and we initialized all the attributes. Now we need to have a method double calculate average that returns the average of 5 marks. So let's write a average calculate average marks. So the return type is double. So double calculate average. So So always remember write in camel casing because Java follows that. Let's calculate the average. Let's initialize the sum. So the sum would be also double sum equal to 0 for int m in marks. Let's iterate over a marks array and calculate this sum, that is sum plus equal to m. At last we can just return sum by 5.0. so this would return the average for our students. So even this is completed. Now we need to write a method char calculate grade that returns. So these are the, if average is greater than or equal to 90, we will assign with a, b, c, d following. So let's even write that. So we are writing char calculate grade. So for calculating grade, it will take one parameter as input, that is double average. We required average to calculate the grade, right? So if my average is greater than or equal to 90, then simply return a grade. Else if my average is greater than or equal to 75, if my average is greater than or equal to 75, then return b. Else if my average is greater than or equal to 60, then return c, or else lastly will return d. This would be my calculate average method. So we have been completed up to here. So the last method is method void display details that prints roll number, name, average and grade. So we need to write the display method. So let's write void display details method. So for display details, first we require the average. So let's calculate the average. So double average equal to calculate average. Okay, this will give me the average. Okay, first we need to print the names out. It is name colon, let's write name also system.out.println. Next we'll print a roll number. So I guess it was roll number first, then always write the order correctly because the output will differ. So second was name, so name column, then you write the name, then after you write the average and plus avg average, and we need to print roll number, name, average and grade, right? So out it would be grade colon, so grade we can compute over here plus calculate grade of average, so it will give my grade. So this is the functionality and the class we have implemented successfully. So if they ask to write the main method, just write. So let's write the main method for our testing itself. So first we need roll number, int roll number equal to sc dot next int. So just leave one line. Also now string name equal to sc dot next line. Then we require int marks equal to new int of given size as 5. So let's take input for int I equal to 0, I less than 5, I plus plus marks of I is equal to sc dot next int. Okay, so now we need to define a student object, student s equal to new student. In this we will be sending our roll number, then name, then the marks. So it will initialize a student s object. So in this we will have the display details. So let's display the details. If I run, it will ask for, first I have given my roll number. Let's say my roll number is 21. Then my name is Monish, and the marks I have got is, let's say 94 and 89, then 95 and 92 and 89. Okay, so successfully we have got my roll number is 21. name is Monish, average is 91.8 and grade is it is working fine. This is the implementation. So you can get the class level implementations, like implement this and that. And the next question we will be solving is on OOP. So let's see the next question. So let's solve the second question right now. It is based on object oriented programming. So we have 4 pillars, that is polymorphism, inheritance, abstraction and encapsulation. You may be tested on any pillar. So for now let's discuss one from polymorphism, that is method overloading. So the problem statement is create a class having 2 display methods with different parameters. If the method doesn't have any arg, then print no arg parameter, else the argument is string, then print the name. So if I explain you the question, so he is saying that there is a class in that there are 2 methods. So what you should know what is method overloading. Method overloading is method signature is same of 2. So what is method signature? Method signature is method name followed by arguments. So this should be different according to method overloading. So there are two methods, that is display and display. There are 2. So it is of no arg and this is of string type. This is the functionality that he is asking in the question. So let's implement this. So if I go here, for now we in the example class we want 2 methods, that is public void display. This is with no arguments. He said that if there is no argument, then just print no arg method. Okay, this is his requirement. And there is also another same public void display method. So if I just do this, it is wrong because the method signatures of the first one and second one are same, but he has given there is another string parameter. Then now it is perfectly fine, and this phenomena is known as method overloading. So same method name but different type of arguments. So here we need to print the name that is given. So we will just write the name is plus name. So this is how we can just write. If I make the object for this, so the object would be example e equal to new example e dot display and e dot display of Monish. These are 2 different things because this will call the first method and this will call the second method. This is a very simple program, but if you don't know what is method overloading, you can never solve this. So now let's solve the first coding problem for tonight. We have been given, the problem statement is we have been given an integer array of size n. So this is an array of size n where consider every contiguous window of size 3. So indirectly he is given the size length, that is 3. So in sliding window algorithm we should know this size of the window for doing the problems. So he is saying that a of I plus 1 and a of I plus 2. So if we consider 3 contiguous elements, then this is called an window as per him. So the I ranges from 0 to n minus 3. Okay, because the last window starts from n minus 3 index only. Yes, the window is valid if a of I plus a of I plus 2 is equal to a of I plus 1, that is first plus third is equal to second. This is the condition that he has given. So we need to find how many valid windows are there, how many valid windows are there in this array. So if we consider the input that he has given, the size of array is 8, 2, 5 and 2, 5, 3, 4, 8, 4, 1, 2. This is the array given for us. So just let's iterate over each window. So if we consider the first window, 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. So this is our possible answer. For now my answer is 1. Next, if we see this window, 5 plus 4 not equal to 3. So my answer still remains 1. If we consider this window, 3 plus 8 is 11, which is not equal to 4. Let's move our window. Now 4 plus 4 is equal to 8. Now my answer increments from 1 to 2. Now let's go 8, 4, 1. 8 plus 1 is 9 and which is not equal to 4. My answer still remains same. Now 4, 1, 2. 4 plus 2 is 6, 6 not equal to 1. So my final answer is 2. This is how we got this output. Now let's solve this question in local machine. So for this we first want scanner to take input. a new scanner of system dot in. Firstly, we want the size of the array to be computed. Now we want an array to be declared, that is new int of n size. Now let's take the input of the array. Now it is just arr of I equal to sc dot next int. So this will take the array's input. Now let's take my answer variable as 0. Now let's iterate over my array, that is n minus 2 is the last index that we will iterate, and let's I plus plus, and if what is the condition, if arr of I plus arr of I plus 2 is equal to arr of I plus 1, then we will do an answer plus plus. This is the condition. At last we will just print the number of valid windows are, will just print plus answer. Now if we just run our file and give the input, so my size of array was 8 and my input was 2, 5, 3, 4, 8, 4, 1 and 2. If we just see, the number of valid windows are 2. This is the actual output that we are getting. So this is how we solve this question, and we can expect these concepts and sliding window concepts in our upcoming exam. So let's look over the next question that has been previously asked in Cognizant. So it is balance number check. The problem statement says that there is a number. It is a very simple problem, but how we solve this problem is very important, because many people think strings questions and arrays questions are very easily done, but I will show you the variation how we can do in a strings question. So a number is balanced if, so we need to see whether the given number is balanced or not. According to problem, what is a balanced number? So a number is balanced if it has odd numbers of digits. First, it should be a number, the length of the number should be odd, so it should have odd number of digits. Okay, and the sum of digits to the left of the middle element is equal to the sum of digits to the right of the middle element. So if it is my element and these are few, if this is my middle, the sum of left should be equal to the sum of right. This is a problem actually. So if it is so, then we will print balanced, otherwise we will print not balanced. And also it is given that if the number has even number of digits, so if the number has even number of digits, then I will just write not balanced. So it is very simple problem, but let's discuss with each test case. So if we consider the test case 5, 6, 2, 1, 5. First we need to check whether the number has odd number of length or not. So the length is 5. So my mid will be n by 2, that is 5 by 2, that is 2. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is my mid. This is my mid for now. Now my left sum is this and my right sum is this, right? So my left sum is just 5 plus 6, that is 11, and my right sum is 1 plus 5, right sum is 6. So 6 is not equal to 11, hence we will print just not balanced. Okay, not balanced. Okay. So if we consider the second test case, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 0, 0, 6. Now let's check the length. The length is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The length is 7, n is 7. So mid will be 7 by 2, that is 3. So if 3 is my mid, this is my mid. So left sum is 3 plus 2 plus 1, that is 6, and right sum is 6 plus 0 plus 0, that is 6. So right sum is equal to left sum. So left sum is equal to right sum. Then here we will write balanced. Here we will write balanced. This is the problem statement given for us. So let's see how to do this, because the main constraint over question is, if I take it is an integer n, how will you iterate over that number? How will you get access to that number? So integer is not an option. If you take it as an array, what if my n value is greater than 10 power 9 or 10 power something very large number which you can't ever store in an array. How to do this? So here where strings come into play. You can store this number n in strings very easily. So you just store it as a string. So here the numbers would be by s dot length. By s dot length you will get the length of string. By that the first condition will be checked that whether the string has even length or odd length. If it is even length, we will straight away return that not balanced. If it is of odd length, then we need to check. Okay, you are at a particular s of I, that is s dot caret I. In Java we write s dot caret I. This will give a character, but we want the value. To get the value, we will just do character minus 0. This will typecast it into value, that is integer value. So by this we can easily compute the left sum and right sum. So for now let's write the code. So for this we want the scanner. We have already imported that. Let's take this string as input. So we'll write xc dot next line. Okay, string input is over. For now we will take the length, int n equal to s dot length. My first condition was if n modulo 2, if it is even length, then we will just print that not balanced. Not balanced. Okay. Okay, and we will return over from here also. Return 0. Sorry, this is not C++. Return. We will just write. We will leave it over here. Now we need to check in the else block. In the else block, how do we do this? Then it is odd length. We are doing for the odd length. For odd length, firstly we need to calculate the mid. Int mid will be n by 2. This is n by 2. We got the mid. Now we need to calculate the left sum and right sum. How to do that? So if we take the same example, that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 006. So it was 006. So my mid was 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. My mid was this. So how to calculate the left sum? So we'll go from 0 to mid minus 1. So we will go up to 0 to mid minus 1. And right sum would be mid plus 1 to n. So I will write just 2 loops and calculate left sum and right sum. So my left sum would be firstly let's initialize them with int left sum equal to 0. It is int left sum equal to 0 and right sum is 0. For left sum I can use just for int I equal to 0, I less than or equal to mid minus 1. I will go up to mid minus 1 and I will calculate left sum plus is equal to s dot caret I. This will give me a character. If I do this, it will definitely give me compilation error or it will store some garbage. But for this, I will do just minus 0. This will give me the actual value for that. So if I do this, it will store the value. Left sum is been computed. For right sum, I can go from int I equal to mid plus 1. From mid plus 1 index to all the way less than n. I will traverse everything and I will compute the right sum. That is s dot char at I minus 0. This will give me the right sum. Now it was very simple. If my left sum is equal to right sum, then I will just print balanced. Else I will print not balanced. This is how we can just write. So if I check for my 2 of the inputs that were given, so we need to enter the string. What was the first input? The first input was 56215. So it was 56215. If I do this, it is straight away giving me not balanced. Let's also check for even case. What was if I do 1, 2, 3, 4? The number of characters are 4. So it will give not balanced. Okay. Now let's for the balanced case. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 006. So it was, if I zoom, it was 1, 2, 3, 4. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 006. So balanced. This is how we can solve this question. It was very easy question, but we tried using the strings concept, and typecasting, everything was involved in this question. So now let's move into the next question. Now let's see the next question. It is a very interesting question, I would say, because we would be solving something like DFS, that is depth first search, using recursion. Okay, so it is a very simple problem to understand. Even Cognizant and TCS are asking a bit complicated questions nowadays. I have asked someone like they have even got in the TCS and Capgemini question, like many people were asked using DP concepts also. So it is also a DP problem, but we are not solving it using DP. Only one step we are not doing, that is memoization. We will solve it using basic recursion, that is in 2 power n solution we will write, but it is very fine, it will get easily accepted, there is no problem at all. So the problem statement says that the problem statement says that you are given an n cross m grid. So we have been given as n cross m grid, that is m columns and n rows. Okay, this represent rows and this represent columns. Okay, a robot starts at the top left corner of the grid from 0 0 coordinate. From 0 0 coordinate he will start, that is, if this is my grid, he is starting from the top left and he wants to reach to the bottom right. So he can go in any ways, like he can go from here, 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 but there is a constraint. He can only go to right direction or to the down direction, but up and left directions are not allowed for this robot, and there are no obstacles in the grid. I mean, if he is here, there is no obstacle here, he can pass away from this. There are no obstacle kind of things in this problem statement. So your task is to count the total number of unique paths the robot can take to reach the destination. So we need to find all the total number of paths that a robot can reach from the source destination to the destination. So if we consider the test case number 1, if my n is 3, so it would be something like 3 by 3 cross. If I take my 3 cross 3, this is my 3 cross 3 matrix or grid. Now my robot is at the source destination, so my robot is here. So he wants to reach the destination. How many ways can he take? So my first way would be, can I go left? No. Can I go top? No. Only right and down directions are only valid. So if the first way would be this, he is going right, then down, perfect way. Then he is going right, down, down, right, perfect. Right, down, perfect. Or down, right, down, perfect. Or down, right, perfect. Or he can even go like this. These are few possible which I can think. But these are the 6 ways. For 3 cross 3, 6 ways are possible. These are the 6 ways that I am written. So how to solve this question? So for this question we will just use the concept of recursion. What is recursion? It will solve for one case and the sub problems will be solved. Based on sub problems we will solve. See, firstly, if my robot is here, he has 2 options now. He can either go right or he can go either down. If he went down, my question would be left over with only this part. Am I right? Because if my after a down jump, this is the matrix that is given. Because why only this? He can even go up. No, that is prohibited. Only down and right only are possible. He can't again go up or left. Okay, this is choice 1. If he went down, or the choice 2 would be going right. So if he went right, my answer would be this. My robot would be here because he again can't go to left. This is sub problem 1. This is sub problem 2. Now compute for this and this. This is how we will solve. For this, the best approach would be solving using DFS. So let's discuss how DFS applies. So we are at particularly 0, 0 cell. So I can either go to DFS of 0 1 or DFS of 1 0. If what is 0 1? I was at 0 0, I went to 0 1, that is taking a right, so I went right. So this would be at halt, because once the DFS call gets over, then only the right call will be called. So 0 1. Now if I went to 0 1, that is this case, this is 0 1. Now also I have 2, I can either go here or I can go here. If I, now it would be DFS of 0 2 or DFS of 1 1, and this is at halt. If I reached 0 2, what is 0 2? I am at here. So if I am here, my array would be something like this, my robot is here. Now only option for him is going not right, because right is boundary, I can't go. So this will definitely call DFS of 1 2, and this will call DFS of 2 2. I successfully reached, this will return 1. This is the one way, because I took right, then again I took a right, then I took down, right, down. This is the possible way. This is how we solve this question. A very how I say, I took the intuition from the scratch to I lift it up. So this is how we can solve. Now if you see, we took right, then I took down here. For this also we have two options, either I can go right or down. For everything this will be, if I am reaching any boundary, I will not take, because here we can't go right because it is a boundary, so I just cancelled. This is how we solve this question. So if I think the intuition is very clear for this question. So let's write the code for the following question that we were solving, that is unique paths. We need the scanner. Also let's take the input, that is int n equal to sc.next int. Also we require, that's all. Now let's write the solve function. So basically this is to reduce, because the main method we can't call the recursive, so I am writing it would be static void, the name is solve int n. So this is how you may be asked function based only, or writing the whole logic for the main method also. Be prepared for everything. So int answer would be, I will just count ways of n. This will give my answer. How? I don't know, but it will give. Let's print also my answer. I will write the number of ways are that is nothing but plus answer. This will give my answer. Now I need to write the count ways function. Let's write that. Static int count ways of int n. Also we required the starting vertices, that is int I, here we will pass 0 comma 0. It would be int I comma int j, because we are at the top left, that is 0 comma 0 itself. So int I comma int j. What would be my condition? First condition would be, if I is greater than or equal to n, if I reach the cell that is not existing in my path, I will just return 0. Or if my j is also greater than n, then I will definitely return 0, because it is not part of my answer only, because we have exhausted that part. We will not take that, but that is the boundary condition. I already discussed about it. What will be my correct condition? If I is equal to n minus 1, if I reach the last cell, and also j is also at n minus 1. This is what is the bottom right cell is, right, because I will show you 1 second. So if this is 0 comma 0 and it is a 3 by 3 grid, then it would be 2 comma 2, right? This is nothing but n minus 1 comma n minus 1. So if we reach n minus 1 comma n minus 1, then we have reached our destination. So this is that condition. If I is n minus 1 and j is also n minus 1, then we are returning that is a valid path. So this is the conditions. What if my what will be my right ways? If I take my right path, what would be it? It would be just count ways of, if I am going right, I am at 0 comma 0. If I go right, what happens? The row number stays same, but the column differs. So the column will change from 0 to 1. So I remains constant, j moves from j plus 1. So that is what I am saying. So if I say I is constant, I is will be same and j plus 1 comma n is also constant. In down ways what happens? Down ways what happens? I will just count ways in my down. If I am at 0 comma 0, if I go down, the row changes. If I am at 0th row, if I go down, I will go to first row. So row indicates I, so I will be I plus 1. So I plus 1 comma column reference same, column is same comma n. So this will give my right ways, this will give my right ways, this will give my down ways. What will be total ways? Total ways will just right ways plus down ways. This will give my all ways. This is what I am returning. So if I run, and we took n as 3, right? If I take n, our answer which we computed using manually, we got 6. Let's see, the total number of ways are 6 exactly. Let's also calculate for n equal to 2. For n equal to 2, we got the number of ways are 2. Let's also calculate theoretically. So for n equal to 2, for n equal to 2, we will have a 2 by 2 matrix. So this is my source, this is my destination. Robot is currently here. One way would be going from here and down. One way would be going from here and down. So one way is this, one way is this. So total 2 ways. Yes, our program is functioning correctly. This is how we can solve this very nice and interesting question, how we solve using recursion. So now we will solve 2 questions based on hash maps and stacks. So we will just see stacks 1 question, hash map 1 question, and one very normal question, and we will wrap up Java and we will start SQL. Now let's solve our next question, where the problem statement says that we have been given a string S. We need to find the first character that appears only once in the string. If there is no such character exist, print -1. Let's understand it using an example. Let's take example 1. Here my string S is A, B, C, C, D, E, F, G, G. Let's take this is as my string. Now if I draw my frequency table, let's say character as my key and frequency as integer. Okay, this is my frequency table, how it looks. So first character is A with a frequency of 2. A is repeating twice. So B with 1 and C with 2, D 1, E 1, F 1 and G is 2. This is how my character frequency table looks. So I want the frequency 1 element which appears 1 in my string. So this is the first character in my string which appeared first with a frequency of 1. What if I take my example 2 as S equal to A, B, C, C, D, E, F, G, G and B. Now my answer for this would be D. Why? Because if I take rather than drawing, my A's frequency would be 2. Now B's frequency is also 2, C is 2, D is 1. So D is the first element in my array or string with a frequency of 1, because there is no D appearing over here. Now let's take the third case, which is the last case. What will be the output of this? Here A's frequency is 2, B's frequency is also 2, C's frequency is also 2, D's frequency is also 2. Here there is no element in the string with a frequency of 1. For this the answer would be -1. Let's quickly code this and solve. So for this, firstly we need the scanner. Let's import java.util. Let's import everything, because we will use hash map, everything. For this we will not just use hash map, but we will use linked hash map, because we want the insertion order, because it is very important to prevent the that is, we need to store the insertion order, because we want the first element in the string which is not repeating. For that we will just use the linked hash map. We will just import the scanner is equal to new scanner of system.in. Okay, now let's take string input. String would be sc dot next line. Then we will take the hash map of character comma integer. Let's name it as mp. new linked hash map. Okay, linked hash map we have taken. Now let's put the values into the linked hash map. For char c in, let's make it to 2 char array. 2 char array. Now I'll just do mp dot put of c comma mp dot get or default. We will place our key c comma 0 default value, then if it is there we will just increase it by 1. So we have successfully put the values into our hash map. Now I want to iterate it over my map, so I will just do map dot entry. This is would be my syntax, map dot entry of character comma integer. This is how we define in M. We will iterate in our mp dot entry set. This is the syntax how we iterate in our mp dot entry set, where if my m dot get value, if my value is frequency, right? If my m dot value is 1, then I will print it. I will print its corresponding key. Then I will just write m dot get key. We can also write the first non-repeating character is. We can definitely write like this. If I zoom out, we can definitely write like this and concat here, and we can return from here. For check, we can also do bool found boolean. It is boolean found is equal to false. Let's set boolean with false. Here we can do flag equal to true. Okay, sorry, it is found, right? We can just write found equal to true. After our if we get out from our iteration, if found is still false, then we will return there is no repeating character in the string, and we can just shout -1, because that is what the statement is, and you need not to write all these output statements, but I'm just writing. So this would be our code. Let's test it. So our first test case was A, B, C, D, E, F, G, G. If you see, the answer for this would be B. The first non-repeating character is B. Excellent. Let's see for the next test case. For the next test case, our test case was A, B, C, D, E, F, G, B. For this the answer should be D. The first character is non-repeating character is D. The last case is there is no non-repeating character. For this we can just take A, B, C, D, D. There is no non-repeating character in the string, so we are returning -1. This is how we can solve this question, and it is very important question, and the hash maps are very favorite for interviewers. During interviews, also in the coding rounds. This is how we solve this question. Next we will solve a question on stack, and we will wrap up Java. Now let's solve the final problem in our Java DSA and core. So this is the last where we will be using a stack problem. I have taken the stack problem because I wanted to take all the variety of problems so that there will be a deep understanding of every problem by using every collection as well. So we have been given a string S containing only the characters, opening parenthesis, closing, for every type of like curly as well as square, curly, normal, everything. So your task is to determine whether the string is valid or not. What is a valid string? A string is valid if opening brackets has only corresponding closing. So if this is opening, then there should be corresponding this, then only it is valid. If this is opening and this is closing, then it is not valid. That is what they have given. So for example, this can be correct answer, because for this opening there is a corresponding closing, but these both are closed and open, so this is completely valid. But if we take this as example, so this is opening, closing and closing, so these two doesn't match, so this also doesn't match, so this is not valid. So this is how the problem statement is defined. So for this we will use a stack based approach. Let's write. Approach is stack works on the principle of LIFO, that is last in first out. The one which comes last goes first out. So the approach is very simple. Step 1 is push all the openings, whether it is opening, any type of opening, without anything, just push it into the stack. Second is, if the character is closing, if the character class is closing, then it could be either this or this or this, only these three. Then check if stack stop is, there could be two conditions. If stack is empty, then my answer is wrong, then straight away return false. Or if stack's top is, can be also three types, that can be either this or either this or this. These are the possible things that a stack stop may have. If my character is closing this one, then 100% its top should be this, or else we will just away throw it as wrong. Or else if my stack stop is this, then 100% there should be a opening bracket, that is opening square bracket, or else we will just return false, that it is not valid string. I hope this is making sense. If we take any example, let's take this. So there is opening this, okay, so let's take, so my string was opening this, okay. So my thing was, let's take a stack, let's name this stack. So first I am at here, so it is opening, just push it on the stack. Now again it is an opening, just put it on the stack. So now we have encountered a closing. Now case 1, is my stack empty? No, my stack is not empty. My closing is this. Is my stack's top matching with this? Yes, it is matching, so pop this. Now we just gone here. Now my top is with this and this is my incoming. So are these both matching? Yes. Stack empty. Now my stack is empty, as well as my string is also exhausted. Now this is the condition where it is a valid string. Or if I am left out with some other contents in my stack, then it is also not valid. This is how we solve this question. And if I take the not valid case, let's take this, okay. My string was opening, closing, okay. So it was opening this, closing this, then we took this and this. So this is my stack. For now, let's take this stack again. This is opening, I will push, I am here. This is also opening, I am push. So my character is this and my top is this. These both are not matching, so this is not valid. This is how we solve this question. Let's write the code for this. Now let's write the code for the valid parenthesis. For this we definitely want the scanner class to taking the input of the string. We can just write new scanner of system.in, as well as let's take the string input. String is equal to sc.next line. So we can write is valid of let's write boolean answer equal to is valid of string. Let's write this logic. If my answer is true, I will just write the string is valid, or else I will write the string is invalid. So this would be my logic. So let's write the boolean is valid logic. So public boolean is valid and it will take string s as input, string s, where we definitely want a stack of character, st equal to new stack. We want the and we will put it in our stack. So for char c, in char c in s dot to char array, if my c is any incoming, if it is any incoming, or c is equal to let's say square this, or c is equal to flower 1, then I will just push it into my stack. Okay, now the other case would be else it is not an opening. So if before an opening, if we will check if st dot is empty, then I will definitely return false, because before my string exhausted it is empty, so we will definitely return false. Now char top will be st dot peak, will get the top element. Now we will check if my c is equal to closing this and top is not equal to, and top is not equal to opening this, then we will do return false obviously. If c is equal to closing square and top is not equal to opening square, then also we will return false, because it is violating the condition. If c is equal to the closing this and top is not equal to opening this, then also we will just return false, or else we will just pop it from our stack. At last we can just return st dot is empty. If my stack is empty, then it is valid, or else it is not valid. Just let's run our logic. So it is saying non-static to static reference. So yeah, so it should be of static type. Static, public static boolean is valid. No, it would be fine. So let's start with a very easy example. So for this, it should be definitely valid. The string is valid, definitely. So let's take it to some complications. Let's write this. Now even this is valid, the string is valid. Yep. If I just do this, the string is invalid. Perfect. And if I do let's do this and this, the string is invalid. So it is working on multiple test cases and we have successfully written the code. I hope this is very clear. Now this is very important to score the maximum marks in Java and SQL, because it is covering up to 85% of cutoff, because the main web portion everyone neglects, because everyone are not strong at web. So very important thing is solve as many as questions you can solve in Java. Either it could be partially correct the answers, but try to solve in Java and SQL, because it is holding a large cutoff. I hope you will be able to solve many of the questions, and I think this is very helpful for you. I tried my level best to explain each and every question and answer and try run everything. So I hope you may solve very good amount of questions and easily cut off your you will easily pass your cutoff and get selected in Cognizant as well. Thank you. This is about Java. We'll surely meet in SQL also. Thank you. So we have successfully completed our Java questions. We have solved around 7 to 8 very good questions where we touched the core Java, also the DSA part. Now let's move to the SQL. So let's solve few SQL questions and then we will see the web questions. So web doesn't contain that much cutoff, so we will focus mainly on the SQL part. So coming forward to the SQL, very famous question: find the second highest salary or the third highest salary, fourth highest salary. It might vary, and it is very important question when you are giving your interviews or else any coding rounds, anything. I myself personally, I got this question in my interviews. So find the second highest salary. How do we solve this? There are basically three steps to solve. when you follow these 3 steps, you will never ever forget this question. So we need to find the nth highest salary of this. So first one is sort the table. Sort the table descending based on salary. This would be my first thing. Then skip n minus 1 rows. Third, print the current row. Print the current row only. This would be my approach. Let's discuss now. So we have been given with the employee table where employee ID and name and salary are the attributes. Here we have the employee table. If I make this employee table, then it would be something there were employee ID, name and I am not writing the fields. Let's just enter. So 1, then we have Amit with a salary of let's say 50. Then we have 2 with Bala with a salary of 60. Then we have 3 named Chetan. Then we have 55. And lastly we have Deepa with a salary of 60. Now the highest salary are Deepa and Bala, but we want the second highest salary, so our output would be Chetan. So how do we get this? First I said sort, just sort. If I sort descending, it would be something like I will get Bala first with a value of 60, then I will get Deepa with a value of 60, then I will have Chetan with a salary of 55, then I will have Amit with a salary of 50. This is after sorting. The first step is done. The first step is completely done. Now after completing the first step, I said skip n minus 1 rows. For now we are solving for the second highest salary. So n minus 1, for now n is 2. So we will skip 2 minus 1, that is 1 row. So we will leave the first row and second row because in this the highest salary are twice. So we will use the distinct keyword. So easily 2 rows will be skipped. Now what we are doing? So the first and second step are done. Now print the current row. Now I am currently at this row. I will print only this row and not this row. For this we can use limit clause. And for skipping we can use the offset clause. By this way we can easily solve for nth highest salary also. So my code would be for this, I will just write select, let me take the marker, select distinct salary from employee. First we will order by salary descending, then we will apply limit it with 1 with a offset with 1. This will skip n minus 1 rows and this will limit to current row. So this is how we can easily solve the highest salary concept. For n equal to 3 we will just write offset 2 and limit 1. This will be offset and limit would be 1. For fourth highest salary the offset will be 3 and limit will obviously be 1 because we will just write. So this is how we can easily solve the concept of nth highest salary. It is a very important question, mark my words. In any session you might get this question. So moving forward to the next question. So if you see, now this is a completely group by concept. So display total salary paid in each department. So we need to print the total salary that is paid in each department. So let's see the schema. We have been given with the employee table as usual. In this, employee ID, name, department and salary are given. So name is of varchar, department is of varchar, salary is of int type. So this is my table. Okay, this is my table. Now I want to list the total salary. Total salary from each department. So I basically have two departments, HR and IT. So I will make groups. So I will make, this is department and this is total salary. This would be something my output. So department 1 is HR and this is IT. So HR department would be simply 40 plus 35 and this would be 50 plus 60. So this is how we will solve. So we can just simply write the query, like if I write the query, select, we want what we want, sorry, why did I keep? So firstly he said us to display the total salary, right? We can just print the department first, select department, comma, sum of salary as total salary. I am just aliasing because he said as total salary. We can just print sum of salary, it will just print salary, but I am just aliasing from employee table and group by based on department. This is how, and simple we can just write the query for this. So it will make groups, that is HR and IT, and this is an aggregate function which will compute the total sum in the corresponding department, and it will just print as total salary. This is how we can easily solve this question. So moving forward to question number 3. So question number 3, what it says, select employees whose name starts with a letter A. So if there are multiple names in an employee table, there are multiple names in employees, it will start with A, B, C, D, E, anything, but I want someone whose name starts with A. For this we will just use pattern matching in SQL is done with like operator. It is a regular expression, regex matching. We will just use the regex matching in SQL with using of like operator. The syntax would be starting with A, right? Starting with A. The syntax for starting with A would be A, then percentage. This percentage defines it should start with A, front it can be anything. So for ending with A, we can just write percentage in front then A, or between A, then we can have percentage in between A and then again percentage. Front can be anything, back can be anything, in between or should contain A, then this is the query would be. For this we can simply write select star from employee where name like A. This will give us all the employee names whose names are starting with the letter A. So this is how we can easily solve the question number 3. Moving forward to the question number 4. So these 3 questions are based on the previous patterns that were asked. Now we will solve some very important question where update, alter concepts are tested while doing this SQL queries. Now the first question is update salary of an employee. So we have a query that increase the salary of employee with employee ID 3 by 10,000. So there is an employee with employee ID as 3. We need to set his salary from previous salary plus we need to add 10,000 in it. So the query would be for this. So if we see the schema over here, insert into employees values, the employees are A Amit 40,000, 2 Bala 50,000, 3 Chetan 45,000. These are the 3 people that are there in my employee table. So the guy Chetan with emp underscore id equal to 3. The Chetan is the employee id with 3. We need to set his salary from previous salary plus just 10,000. For that, always let's write here, always remember, if we want to update any row level info, then we will use update keyword. Very important, because many people will have when to use update, when to use alter and everything. So we will use alter in the next question. I have took as alter because we will use alter when we are working on the attributes or the attribute values. So the query would be update employees, employee set salary equal to salary plus 10,000, salary plus 10,000, where employee underscore id is equal to 3. What it does is, it will first update the employee table and set the salary of employee id 3 whose previous salary was something. Now it will just modify it with adding 10,000. So this is how we can easily solve this question. So moving forward to the next question. Now I have took the alter one. So because many people have the doubt between alter and update. So alter is used while working on the columns, but update is used while working on the rows. So the question is very simple over here. Add a new column email of type varchar to the employee table. So there is an employee table. There is an employee table. There might be any number of rows or anything. So we just need to add a column in our employee table. So the query would be alter table employee. This would be the syntax. Alter table employee, add we are asked to add email of varchar type of 100. Now what it does is, previously if my employee table was let's say name of employee and id, now after this will create name, id, then it will create email also. So this is how we can add a attribute in our table. So next we will now modify column data type. So this is another one where we need to modify the existing data type. So it is as similar as same, but here we will use something different. So before the name character was 50 length, now we need to type 100 time. We can just use alter table employee. It is same. Then we will write modify name varchar of 100. This will modify the existing name of varchar with 50 with varchar of 100. This is how we solve this question. Moving forward to the last question, this is the question on joins. This is question on joins, and this question I have taken from lead code SQL 50 playlist, where the question is from 576. It is a very interesting question. It is based on left join. So let's discuss this. So we have been given with the employee table with the fields as employee ID, name, supervisor and salary, and employee ID is a column with unique values for this. So for this the primary key is employee ID, and each row of this table indicates the name and ID of an employee in addition to their salary and their ID. So it is about info about employee. Okay. So next we have given bonus. So the attributes are employee ID and bonus. So employee ID is the column with unique values, and this is the foreign key. This is the foreign key. Based on this employee ID only, the both employee table and bonus table are linked. So to employee ID, the employee, each row of this contains employee and their respective bonus. So what is the question stating is, write a solution to report the name and bonus. The output field, this is the output field, this will have the name and bonus only. It will have the name and bonus. Okay, so amount of each employee who have satisfied either of the following. The conditions are, the employee has a bonus less than 1000. This is the first condition. And the employee did not get any bonus. Did not means that is his bonus would be null. It is just defining that if he did not get any bonus, then his fields will be definitely null. So return the result in any order. The following is the example. Let's see the example. So if we see the example, the employee table, there are 3, 1, 2, 4 are the employee IDs with the names Brad, John, Dan and Thompson, where supervisor is null 333, salary respectively. Bonus table 2 and 4. So by this 2 and 4 we can understand that 2, 4 only got bonus. What bonus? This is very clear because the employee IDs who got bonus are only listed in the bonus table, right? So we want every record from left table. That is, this is left and this is right. So we want every record from left table and matching things from right. Then we use left join, that is left outer join. So what does left outer join do? If these are my tables, it will give everything from left table, also the intersection part. So this is what left join does. So what happens if I do a left join over this table? So I have already written the left join. So 3, 1, 2, 4, the left table will be as it is. So here 2 and 4 only got bonus. So employee ID 2 with corresponding bonus was 2000. Okay, we have already written. Okay, employee ID got 500 bonus, right? I have written 2000 by mistake. Let's correct this. So employee ID 2 got bonus of 500. So this would be 500. And employee ID 4 got a bonus of 2000. So I have just written wrong. So it would be something around 2000. So these are the particular bonus, and 1 and 3 did not get any bonus. So their respective fields are null. So this is after left join. So this is my table after left join. My output table is asking for the name and the bonus. The conditions were, I want the name, the bonus of the people who did not get any bonus. That is, if you see, Brad and John did not get any bonus. That are employee ID 3 and 1, 3 and 4, 1 did not get. But this Dan guy, that is employee ID 2, got bonus, but his bonus is less than his bonus is less than 1000, right? His bonus is just 500. So we need to also list them. So it is very important to understand this. So we need this guy and also these two guys. This would be achieved very easily using the where condition. So first we need to do the left join. So writing left join is very simple. That is, firstly we want select name comma bonus from employee E. Before writing this, one second, from employee E, the name is present in the employee table. So I will just write E dot name comma B dot bonus. I'll write this way. So it would be left join on what table? Left join bonus B on E dot emp id is equal to B dot emp id. Basing on employee ID already, we are left join. This will give left join. This is how we can do the left join. After doing the left join, we can just one second, let me just copy this, because we can't write the same thing again and again. So okay, let's copy and let's paste it over here. So this will give us the left join. So we already got the left join. Now the condition was, first condition was they don't have bonus. This was the first condition. The second condition was less than 1000, bonus is less than 1000. For that we can just include the where clause, where bonus is less than 1000 or bonus is null. This is how we can easily solve this question, a very nice question on joins. This is how you can expect questions on SQL in your Cognizant cluster 1. I hope you are able to understand these concepts and are familiar with some of the topics that are previously asked in Cognizant SQL, and I hope you are able to easily clear the cutoff, and I wish you all the best. Thank you. So we have arrived at the last segment of our video where we will be solving the web question, where generally you will get one web question, 2 Java questions and 2 SQL questions. So total you may expect 5 questions, where this is the web question, and it will carry just 15% of your cutoff. So if your web question did not go well, don't worry, you try to score the more in Java and SQL, because Java and SQL is 85% of cutoff. So just keep it in mind and solve that. So the web question, coming forward to it, the problem statement says that create a simple web page that shows a header. So if this is my web page, it will have a header. So header is this, so a paragraph and a button. So this is a header, there should be a header and there should be a paragraph. So let's take this as paragraph. Then there should be a button also, there should be a button, and the paragraph text color should toggle between red and blue. So the basic functionality, you will get very basic functionality questions like creative form or toggle. These are few of the very basic things that you do in your HTML, CSS and JavaScript. So you need to write completely. So I don't think so you will write this code from the scratch, because some boilerplate would be given. You will just modify things in that boilerplate, because writing everything from scratch, how can you write HTML? So he will give you the boilerplate, you need to just write the tags that he has mentioned. Like here he has set the paragraph tag, button tag and header. So these things you need to implement, but the boilerplate would be there. You can't write HTML from scratch, that is for sure. So this is the question. So the question was, there is some paragraph text for now. Let's say this is paragraph. The paragraph is something like hi, this is web page. So this was the question. So what now there will be a button, as per him there will be a button where it will say click me or something text we will give. When I click that, the whole text will become red. The background color should change. This is same like switching from light mode to dark mode in our mobile application. This is the functionality that he is checking. This functionality is nothing but toggling case. So if we are in dark mode and toggle, it will switch us to the light mode. It is same like that. This is the functionality that he is expecting from the user. So let's see how to do this. So if we see the index.html would be provided by him. So the basic boilerplate code, when we in VS Code we type exclamatory and enter, the basic boilerplate, how we get that. So firstly we are linking our style sheet, that is style.ssh. We will do some kind of styling, not that, because he did not mention about any styling or something. So the main functionality revolves around the JavaScript, where we write the toggling logic. So style sheet we have just linked in our HTML page. Now this is all boilerplate. The title would be simple web question, or you can just write anything as per your choice. Title is something very restricted to you. Now this is the header. As he said he wants a header, I have written welcome to my page. This is the header. So let's write this as header. This is as header. The first functionality got completed. The h1 tag is used for writing headings. So we have written the header. Now he said he want a text, paragraph text. So I am assigning an ID of text to the paragraph, where I have written this text will change color when you click the button. This is the text I have written. So I have took a button with corresponding ID color button. Write some meaningful things. So toggle color. So there will be a button whose name is toggle color. This is the text inside the color, and its ID is equal to color button. This is the functionality up to here. It is very clear up to here. So when I click this, it will change into blue. This is the functionality that I need to write. This is about my HTML page. HTML page is very clear. Now if I look over the style.css, the whole body which I am giving a font of Arial sans serif. This is, you can give Times Roman, you can give anything with a padding of 20x. Do you know about padding? This is not that important, but padding is something. If this is border and this is the content, the length or distance between the border and the content is nothing but the padding. That is what padding. I am giving the h1 with a color of this hash 333. This is some hash code, whatever the color is, that will be assigned to the heading. So now font size of paragraph I am increasing by 16 pixels. So I have increased the font size. Now button, I am also giving the button padding 8 pixels, 12 pixels. Cursor pointer is, if you hover over this, it will show the cursor. So cursor pointer does that. This style.css is not at all required, because he did not ask for any functionality in our question. So style.css is not that important. Now let's see script.js. Before writing our script.js, we need to include the script file in our HTML. So I have written script tag with source file is script.js, that should be in our path. So this is how we will import the script.js. So if I see the script.js, this is the functionality. It is very simple functionality. Let's see. So I am declaring a const button. I will get the button from the HTML page. So document.get element by ID. As we have defined the ID of the button as color button, document is a DOM object that we will learn in the DOM. So it get element by ID is the property from which it will get the ID from the HTML page. So this color button, what we are seeing, the color button is fetched over here. It is over here. Now even the text is get by ID from, so the paragraph which we have written is also here. Now firstly, let's assume that my my text color is red, but for now we don't know whether it was red or blue. For let's say it is not red, it is blue. So we can just write button that or add event listener. Event listeners are JavaScript events which will perform on any action. So click, this is an option. When we button, there is an attribute called click. When click happens, then some event will be happening. So this is an arrow function. So this is arrow function. It is similar like functions, but it is ES6 representation of arrow functions. So we have written a callback arrow function, where if it is red, then just a toggle. So is red is, firstly it was false. Now not of false is true. No, it is true. So text.style.color, if it is true, then assign red or else blue. This is how it is, simply we can say. So if I say, if this is my paragraph, and let's say it was, instead my is red was startingly false. So now if I enter when my button is clicked, now I have entered into my add event listener function. So if it is red, then I am negating it from true. If it is true, then I will assign red, right? So this blue will be of red now, and the function will be completed. If I again click, then it will be red will be true. Now red will be true. If I enter into the function, this true becomes false, and if it is false, then assign blue. This red will be again blue. This is how the toggling will be effective and working in the HTML and CSS and JavaScript. So if I show you the implementation, this is the same index.html, site.css and script.js, same file. If I just run, if I run, the same, the text will change color when you click. If I toggle color, it changed to red, again it changed to blue, red, blue. This is the basic functionality that they expect you to solve. These are the questions, and we have completely successfully completed the video. If you watch the video from starting to end, then I guess you have the potential or to crack any cutoff or something, because you are someone who want to achieve some things or want to get placed in any company. And I wish you very good wishes, and I hope you clear the cutoff and also your interviews and get placed in the Cognizant exam. Thank you.